Hello!
Hello.
It's us. It's not Saturday. This is weird.
It's weird.
It's weird. I don't like it. It feels awkward, huh? It's dark out. It's not light out. Anyway, hi guys. We are here today playing a cheeky little miniseries that's Western and paranormal. So there's going to be some rootin' and tootin', and there's also going to be some spooky ghosts. We're going to just start off with some introductions before I introduce the system that we're running. We're going to start with Lil Bones.
Howdy. I'm Little Bones 309. I'm an indie gamer here on Twitch.tv. I have the smallest bones on the internet. And over here for some time on Tuesdays, I'll be playing Mable Clemons, but you can call her May. May is a forlorn widow who was once attacked by a certain group of bandits and is out seeking revenge.
I love that. I love a woman with just that feminine rage.
She's scorned.
Can we hop on down to Mr. Phil Gala?
Absolutely. My name is Mournian. You can find me pretty much here on Tuesdays for the next few weeks and Saturdays, and then just being a general pain in their butts in their chats most of the time. And tonight I will be playing Mr. Phil Gala, and Mr. Gala is previously a dentist who now discovered he enjoys gambling. So he travels from town to town, being a little gambling man.
Little gambling man.
Little gambling man.
Joel.
Hey everybody, it's me, Joel, aka TactlessRaccoon, usually in chats. I'll be playing Joseph Ludlow. He's a little hoarding guy. He just likes stuff and things and stuff. You can't have any of it.
This one's for all my baby girls. I see your comments,
Right.
ladies, and they make me smile.
I love that Joel just plays like a variation of a character, and no matter the setting.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Just a little guy who has a lot of stuff. Jay.
Hi. I fully thought Joel said horny just then. That's my bad. Hi. I'm Jay. I'm playing Selma de las Palmas. She's around. She's kind of a little bimbo-y, but that's okay. And she's just a lady trying to make a living where things don't grow. And yeah.
I love her already. And it's just because of the Spanish. And hi guys, I'm Myriad, and I am presenting this currently. We are using a different rule set. We're not playing D&D tonight. We are using the SAGAS system, which is system and setting and genre agnostic system created by OKSGM. He was very gracious enough to ask me to run a series or a one-shot. He just wanted me to run a game sort of promoting the Kickstarter, which is live now. If you put exclamation SAGAS in chat, you follow that link over to the Kickstarter to help back and support an indie creator. I think they're like a third of the way funded so far, and we want to help them with that final push. The system is super easy, rules light, very easy to pick up, very easy to build a character. It's very easy to implement in any sort of setting or genre that you want. And yeah, I think we all had a good time coming up with our characters and coming up with this setting to run. I know that I had asked the group, hey, what setting do you want to run? And I think it was Bones was like Western. And I was like, all right, but how about some ghosts? And here we are. Anyone else have anything they want to say before we get started?
Yeehaw!
Yeehaw!
I'm very excited.
I am very excited to hear Joel try to do a country accent.
I will be judging it.
All right, we're getting hate mail.
Well.
But yeah, guys, make sure to click that link, go support the Kickstarter, and enjoy the show as we get started. We find ourselves in Freebank. The dusty frontier town is quiet in the dead of night, save for the bustling about the saloon. Hidden behind a weathered wooden facade adorned with flickering lantern lies the notorious gambling den known as the Spurs Luck. The creaking saloon doors swing open and close as patrons make their way in and out of the establishment. The smoky atmosphere is thick with the smell of tobacco, sweat, and the scent of whiskey. We pan over to the makeshift dance floor as couples swing and sway together to the jaunty music the live band is playing, swerving in between the twirling bodies, skirting around the saloon girls, bustling about with drinks for the other patrons. We turn and find ourselves staring at the bar. Made of a fine cherry wood, carefully polished and maintained, the bartender cleans a glass. Not unnerved by how busy the saloon is tonight, but he keeps a watchful eye on the crowd, ready to kick any rabble-rousers out at the first sign of trouble. When a finely dressed man comes up to the bar, the bartender's face takes on an easygoing smile as he leans in closer. The man whispers something into the bartender's ear, and the smile drops from his face as he surveys the crowd behind the man once more, before nodding to the man, signaling for him to follow. The bartender leads the man behind the bar through a locked door and then through another to a large room. Inside, the low hum of conversation is punctuated by the rhythmic shuffling of cards and metallic clinks of coins. The room is adorned with worn-out leather upholstery, tattered playing cards scattered across green felt tables, and a well-worn bar counter displaying an impressive array of aged spirits. A motley crew of cowboys, gunslingers, and prospectors huddle around the tables, their faces concealed beneath wide-brimmed hats and shadows cast by the dim hanging lights. Dealers' hands move deftly, revealing only the occasional glint of a mischievous grin. The air is charged with tension as players place their bets, each one eyeing their opponents with suspicion and perhaps a bit cockiness. The clatter of dice against the wooden surface echoes through the den as a lively crowd gathered around a craps table, shouting cheers and jeers with each roll. One table in particular has garnered an audience. 3 people have already folded, leaving just 2 players remaining. A woman with auburn hair, perfectly coiffed, sits up straight in her seat as she stares over her cards at her opponent with narrowed eyes. The final hand is about to unfold and tension thickens the air. Phil, you would like to introduce your character.
Absolutely. Sitting on the other side of the table, we have a lovely southern gentleman. Sitting there with his suit on, little tied tie, and a large brimmed hat, looking over the rim of gold spectacles, looking directly at his opponent, trying to determine whether she's telling the truth or not.
The woman, Amelia Lucky Ace Hayes, looks down at her hand once more, before a Cheshire grin appears on her face. Raise, and she chucks 10 coins in to the already hefty pot.
Ooh,
At
now
this
that's
point,
quite a raise.
I do want you to roll to determine what your hand is.
D12?
It's going to be a D8 because you're lucky, aren't you?
Oh yeah, you're right. Well, that's a 2.
That's actually mighty fine because with the SAGAS system, we want to roll low. So you are rocking with what's a good poker? What's a good hand in poker?
I mean, the
Flush?
best is a royal flush.
We're not going to do royal flush because you didn't crit on this, but
I tried.
maybe
Flush
4 of a
pretty good.
kind.
There we go. 4 of a kind.
4 of a kind's good. Creature's saying a straight flush, so I'm gonna default to creature.
All right there.
So you have a straight flush, and you look over at her, and you just know there ain't no way. There ain't no way she's beating you. Not tonight. Not with this hand. And so knowing the hand that you hold, what would you like to do? Would you like to raise?
That's a lot of money you put in there. Means you probably got a nice little hand sitting over there.
She sort of fans herself with the cards a little bit. There's a cocky grin on her face.
You know what? Call me crazy, but I'm gonna call, and I'll put 10 coins in.
Awfully brave of you. Hope you're ready
I'm
to lose all
feeling-
that money.
I'm feeling rather adventurous tonight. How about you?
She narrows her eyes at you. And she lays her cards down. I need you to make me a lucky roll to see if she has a better hand than you.
3.
She does not have a better hand than you. She lays down 4 of a kind. 3s, as a matter of fact.
That's a daisy of a hand you got there.
Go on, then.
Oh. You know what? I shouldn't have called. I thought you were bluffing. All I got, and I'll lay down my 4 of a kind.
Before you lay down your cards, she is looking very smug. She almost even, she starts to reach for the pot. And then you lay down your straight flush, and she stops.
Oh. Is that better than yours? I'm so sorry.
There's hooting and hollering as you lay down your hand, and her hackles raise. Are you kidding me? She stands up, nearly knocking over her chair. You're cheating. I know you are. Ain't no way you had a better hand than I did.
Oh, were you upset you lost?
There's an ugly scowl that twists on her face, and she's normally a pretty lady. And she looks like she's ready to lunge across the table at you.
Do I have, is this an establishment where I still have my guns?
Yeah.
Before she makes any crazy moves, he's just gonna pull his coat back slightly and reveal the pistols on his hip. Now, I understand being upset, darling, but let's be civilized.
You'll note that she also has a gun on a holster, it's like a side holster. She doesn't look like she's about to grab at it, but she does look like she's gonna lunge at you, and as she goes to kind of, go over the table at you, you see 2 arms sort of come up behind her and drag her back. Alright now, Ace, I think it's time you left before you do something you might regret. And it's the bartender. He sort of doesn't really give her room to argue, as he begins to drag her away. Quite literally kicking and screaming from the table and out the door to the main saloon. And you swear you can hear her cussing and shouting the whole way through.
Now y'all come back tomorrow. We'll play again. Maybe you'll have better luck next time.
You think that you hear a very faint "fuck you," but yeah, you have just won a very, very hefty pot, and it sits in front of you. The people who had been watching the whole exchange are now a little bit bored. They were kind of anticipating for Ace to leap over the table at you. She's got a hot temper, and they're a little upset that they didn't get to witness that.
Maybe next time, fellas. And he'll start putting the pot away.
As you go to gather the pot that you've rightfully claimed as yours, a finely dressed man approaches you, silent as a ghost. In one smooth motion, the stranger places a sealed letter on the table in front of you. A seal you don't recognize, a small candle with a flickering flame.
Now, who's this from, sir?
You watch as the letter is set in front of you, and you look down at the letter, and when you go to look up at the man, he is no longer standing there. In fact, he is nowhere to be seen. Almost like he wasn't even there to begin with.
Well, that's a neat trick I'm gonna have to learn. And he'll pick up the letter and break the seal.
Okay.
Unfold it.
It's short. but it bears a haunting message. Philip Gala, the cards of fate are dealt in Grayfall Hollow. Will you play or will you fold? And at the bottom is signed The Collector.
Is this anything? He has no idea what this is.
No.
Okay.
You, if you want to roll me like a sort of general knowledge check, that's probably going to be a D12 for you.
3.
3's good. So, you know Grayfall Hollow is a ghost town. It was an old mining town. There hasn't been in service for, God, like 20 years now. You can't really quite recall why it sort of became a ghost town. Normally what will happen is with these towns, like the mines will basically dry up and they move on. The town moves on, and if you don't have a mine, if you don't have means of production and some sort of money coming through, there's no reason for people to stay. How old is Phil, by the way?
Probably mid to late 40s.
It's late. Yeah, so you were probably about 20. Probably still in your dentistry era, career. So you really didn't pay too much mind. With a 3, though, you might have recalled some disappearances happening in and around Grayfall Hollow.
He'll kind of sit there and look at it for a moment. Now, I wonder if they having a poker tournament. It looks like my prospects here may have dried up.
Another one of the men comes up beside you, ones that had been watching, who had been at the table with you actually, before he eventually gave in. He comes up, throws an arm around your shoulder. Hey, Phil! How about we have us a celebration drink?
He'll kind of look at him side-eyed a little bit. Are you buying?
Aw, come on now, don't be like that. You just won that big old pot.
It's a lot of work to win this pot. If you want to celebrate with me, you gotta buy me a drink.
All right. Come on.
And he'll continue putting the pot into whatever bag or thing he has with him. And then
he calls over one of the saloon girls, and she comes over and she'll go over to the bar cart and pour you guys a drink. It's not like it is on the in the main saloon. There is just 2 singular saloon girls kind of flitting about, taking orders from the patrons down back here in the den, and she'll bring you both a glass of whiskey each, and give you a little wink as she does, and she sort of flouts back over.
I do love poker, and he will just take the shot.
All right. Miles and miles from Freebang, we find ourselves tracking through dense woods. Branches bend but don't break as we weave through them, intently following behind a figure trekking nearly silently through the underbrush. They seem to be on the trail of someone, but rain is beginning to fall, breaking through the canopy above, setting an invisible timer. Soon, whatever tracks are being followed will get harder and harder to discern from the soft forest floor. Mable, you'd like to introduce yourself.
Well, you can look within the dark. What you will find is a slight woman. She is young-ish, maybe closer to approaching 30 than she is 20. She was once a beautiful woman, but a long scar has marred her face. She's angry, and she holds 2 pistols in her hand, one for each of you.
Mable, you've been doing this a long time, tracking down bandits of all kinds. And you know if you don't hurry, trail will go cold, and you've been hunting these ones for a while now, about a week. You've been tracking them down, hopping from town to town. What would you like to do?
I would imagine it's pretty pitch black. So I'd like to go ahead and quickly use my night vision, if possible.
Go ahead.
That is a 6.
All right. So you sort of have already seen where the trail was going. You know where to look. It is quite dark. The canopy above is very dense, leaving no moonlight to sort of light your path. But you see it very, very slightly, the indent of a footprint, and then another, and it seems to veer off westward, allowing you to trail after that. It could only be them. No one else is trekking through these woods.
I'd like to hurry up and get it a moving then. Quickly and quietly.
Okay. If you would like to roll me a stealth check.
It is a D8. Okay, it's an 8.
So 8's bad because we want to
That's
roll
not good.
low.
Oh, no.
You, as you're walking, you don't notice a branch that has fallen, and with a crack that echoes through the woods, you hear birds begin to fly away from high atop the trees. There's an owl even that sort of just hoots as it flies away, and you sort of wait for a moment. And you wait. And there's quiet. You're thinking that whoever you're tracking, they're far enough away that they wouldn't have heard that. The trail leads you to the edge of the wood. In the middle of a clearing stands a small, dilapidated shack, and you can see the faintest trace of candlelight flickering between the boarded walls of the structure. Outside, you can see 2 horses tied to a hitching post a few yards from the shack.
Do I see anybody outside?
No, you can hear the murmuring of 2 voices. Even, you're a fair distance away, but you can still hear the murmuring of 2 voices. They don't realize that you're following after them. Otherwise, they'd probably be quiet, and there would not be any sort of light.
Mabel's gonna call out. Help! Help! Help!
Now, you chose to track down these 2, Mable, because of a very specific reason. These bandits that you've been tracking have been reported to be attacking women traveling alone along the roads nearby. The bounty for them is not as hefty as you think it ought to be, but really it's about the principle of the matter. These men shouldn't be allowed to roam free to terrorize innocent women. And as you call out, you hear a rustling coming from inside the shack as the door flies open. 2 men stand with the backlight of the candles that they had lit in the shack. Who's there? One of them calls out.
Oh, just little old me. I'm lost out in these woods. I ain't familiar with this holler.
One of them grabs at an oil lamp that was probably sitting right next to the entrance, and they hold it up so they can see who's standing there, and they see you. And you're not an ugly woman by any means. And you're alone, by yourself. Of course you need help. And they leer at you. Aw, come on now, honey. Come on here, we'll help you out.
Oh, you will? And she
Oh, of
takes
course.
Just a couple of steps forward. I was so scared. I heard that there's dangerous men out in this holler.
Aw, we'd protect you, honey. Don't you worry. You don't gotta worry about no dangerous men.
She takes another couple steps forward and she'll say, well, I don't know. You just can never trust nobody. Can I trust you 2 fellas? You look so big and strong.
The pair of them, they're not good-looking men. One's a little bit overweight. His face is sort of mottled with sunspots and deep craters, and the other one is sickly thin, missing a couple of teeth. they kind of look at each other and they grin like they've just found a jackpot. Come on in here, honey. We'll warm you up.
I think she's gonna take just a couple more steps. Are you sure you want to do that, fellas?
Oh, we'd like nothing more.
Are you sure about that? You know, it's not just these men out here that are real dangerous. I hear there's all sorts of animals. And she takes this deep, shuddering breath, and she'll sort of cant her head to the side. Don't you realize? Don't you see it yet, fellas?
I think at this point, they recognize the tone of your voice. And they take a step back, even though they're still looking at you. What you mean by that?
Don't you know it, boys? That you're just prey, and I'm the fucking predator of this here holler. I'm the mountain lion. And I swear to God, I ain't leaving here until you're both dead. And she's gonna go ahead and pull out both her pistols.
All right. So what we need to do is I need you to roll me a reaction check.
What am I rolling? D6?
So it's going to be, I think it's just a D8 or a D12.
What would you prefer me to roll?
I think it's going to be a D12.
Okay, let me get my 12 out. That is a 7.
All right. So they're gonna go first, as they, one seems to have a pistol hidden in his waistband, and the other doesn't seem to be armed. He probably, he wasn't expecting anyone to come out here. The one with the pistol tries to shoot at you. So I believe that what we have to do is you make a defense roll, I believe. Let me check. Combat's going to be a little bit tricky just because we are new to this. Combat. Oh, you're going to make an avoid check.
Okay. Is that another D12?
Yes.
That's a 4.
Okay, so you, like, superhumanly, he goes to whip his pistol out. He doesn't even aim. He whips it out and fires immediately at you, and it whizzes by. You just lean just ever so slightly over as that bullet whizzes by you. And the other one...
Oh, go ahead, sorry.
The other one is gonna start to rush towards you. But he is not going to be able to do anything because he's only able to move one zone up. And you are still a zone away from him.
I think once that happens, Mabel's gonna smile. Don't you see it yet, boys? I'm the fucking Antichrist. And she's gonna go ahead and fire at the one with the gun.
With the gun? Okay, go for it.
Mm-hmm. It's a D.
Yours is going to be a D8 because I think you have dual
D8.
wielder.
I do. That's a 1.
Yes.
Yes.
Where would you like this to hit him? Describe the scene for me as you whip your pistol out and one-shot this man.
She's quick. She does a little flourish as they come up. And one is aimed at the fella approaching her, and the other one shoots him dead in the eyes, between the eyes. And what I imagine happens is the bullet fucking screams towards his forehead, hit him dead center, splat. His head falls back, and he comes back with a heavy thud.
His head falls back, and then his body follows, and you just hear that thud, and it echoes through the dead of night. And his partner looks at him. Oh my God! Cletus! And he looks at you, and he is going to try to run away.
I would like to shoot him in the back of the head.
Go for it.
I'm not kidding.
Another one.
Another one.
It's the only time you want ones.
My shitty rolls are coming back, baby. I'm assuming I one-shot him as well.
Yep.
Before she shoots him, she trains him with the pistol. She goes, dead or alive, baby. Fires, and then it's like reverse. It just hits him dead in the back of the skull, and he thump and thump.
Yep. He falls face first into the clearing floor. Just a mouthful of dirt in a silent scream that never actually got to leave his body. The horses are starting to stir. They're starting to whinny with the gunshots. They're used to the noise of gunshots, haven't given their owners, but they're starting to get a little antsy. Would you like to do anything with the horses?
I'd like to try to approach them and calm them.
All right. So this is going to be sort of like an animal handling check. So that's going to be a D12 for you. But the DC is going to be fairly low because you have a background with horses.
Yes, I do. I really just don't want to get kicked in the head.
Mm-hmm.
That's a 2.
Oh. You are the horse whisperer. So you go up to the horses. They are starting to pull at the lead that's attached them to the hitch and post. And when you come over, they're a little wary of you. But you set a hand on each of their little snouts, whispering calmly to them. And it's like your calm demeanor spreads to them. And as they're sort of moving around, listening to your whispers, their movement gets stiller and stiller until they're just standing there, just big eyes staring at you in the darkness.
Oh, yeah.
What would you like to do with the bodies?
I'd like to one of them on the back of one horse, the other on the back of the other horse. She is going to tie the horses together so she can either ride one to collect her bounty.
So you have a horse already, but you had left it at the edge of the woods before you started tracking these bandits through the woods. What's your horse's name? Describe your horse.
Don't mind if I do. Okay. She's like an Appaloosa. She's beautiful. She's very magical looking. I want to say her name actually is Magic. She's very pretty. She's got a star on the top on her little forehead.
Mm-hmm.
And she's got beautiful long legs and a beautiful black mane and like beautiful she's actually all black. I take that back. She's all black. She's very shiny. And she's got long, luxurious horse lashes.
Oh, yeah. Do you, like, braid her tail?
Absolutely. And I sometimes put little trinkets inside of it. Souvenirs for my bounties. Would you like to know what the souvenirs are?
I was going to say, is it teeth?
It's their teeth.
Do you take the teeth out of these men? One of them doesn't have very many left, to be honest.
What? I take what I can.
He clearly has never met Phil Gala, former dentist in his life. So you, I imagine you just have pliers handy, to be honest.
Oh yeah, I would imagine I've got like a little survival kit.
Mm-hmm.
She's a hard one.
I love Mable so much. You take some pliers, wrench open the mouth, and pluck out some teeth with ease, which is a little disconcerting. And you load these men up onto the horses. You're actually rather glad that there were horses here because having to carry 2 full-grown men through the woods would have been a nightmare, especially at night.
Yep.
If you can roll me a basically survival check to see how long it takes you to navigate back to Magic.
I got a 5 on that roll.
All right. It takes you a little bit longer, especially because you have the one horse that you're riding, and that's leading the other one. It takes you a little bit longer. The woods are dense, so you'd have to do a lot of weaving and bobbing through the trees. But as you arrive back to where Magic is hitched to the base of a tree, you're taken aback to see a man standing there petting your horse. Now, this is odd, because Magic don't like no one. She don't let anyone touch her but you. But she seems quite content to let this man pet her snout. He's a finely dressed man who only offers you a smile that seems eerie in the moonlight, not seeming to care as the rain falls down on you both in a gentle drizzle. Nice night, isn't it?
Step away from my horse.
He removes his hand. The smile remains. And there's a crack of lightning. And the man is gone.
It's a bit strange. I think she's gonna hop off the horse that she was riding and go straight to Magic with the reins in hand.
Mm-hmm.
And she's gonna check to make sure Magic's okay.
Magic's kind of whinnies when you come over to her. You look at her. She doesn't seem to be in distress. And as you tie the reins of the two other horses, hauling the bodies of the bandits to your own horse, you notice an envelope tucked beneath the saddle with a seal that you don't recognize.
I will go ahead and open it. What the fuck is this shit?
Mable Clemons, justice for those who have been wronged, lies in Grayfall Hollow. And it is signed, Collector.
Who the fuck is the Collector?
You would like to roll me any sort of history-based check.
Yeah. I got a 7.
Grayfall Hollow really doesn't ring a bell. You'd have to go sort of to the nearest town, you'd think, to try to discern where the fuck that is. As you stare at the leather, though, are you intrigued?
I'm intrigued. If it means getting justice for those who've been wronged, especially women's, I will do it. It's the most honorable thing. So, I'll find the nearest town, and I'm going to find out where the fuck Grayfall Hollow is.
So you would know that the nearest town is Red Ridge. It's a couple of hours ride from here. And as you hop up on your horse, we see you sort of heading down the road, fast in the moonlight. Just the silhouette of you and the horses heading towards the horizon.
They get my bounty anyway.
The town of Red Ridge can barely be called a town, consisting of a couple of structures plopped down in the middle of the desert, serving only as a stopping point for people making their way to Freebank. The general store has only the essentials and an exorbitantly priced given the amount it costs to ship goods way out here. Outlawed, the local saloon, is busy no matter the time of day, passerbys and travelers spending most of their time there with little else to do in town. A one-room schoolhouse doubles as a church. And what is perhaps the most odd is the doctor's office. The offices of Dr. Cruz Lachlan is etched into the sign hanging on the awning of the building. The issue with a town as small as this one is that it's lawless. No sheriff or other law enforcement to be seen, which makes a doctor an invaluable asset to have given the amount of shootouts and other violent crimes that occur. Such crime having just happened as a young man covered in blood is dragged into Doc Laughlin's office, a makeshift bandage around what could only be a gunshot wound on his leg that's already bled through. He's screaming and howling, and there's a commotion in the street. Doc Laughlin was in the middle of going over the manifest of a recent delivery when the man was rushed in. He shoves the paper into the arms of a young woman as he begins to clear off the examination table, taking control of the situation. The young woman, Selma. Would you like to describe your character?
Yeah. Selma is a Mexican woman with like very deep brown skin, often wears her hair in little pigtails. she's very short. Almost like she should not be. She's actually about 5'2". She wears like robes, just like a blouse, a skirt, and then like what we call a sarape, which is just like a what are they called? Not a
Sarape.
sarape. It's like a veil, I guess, would be the best description. And yeah, she just that's it. Very bright-eyed.
So you're familiar with Doc Lachlan because you often handle deliveries for him. And as he sort of shoves the manifest back into your hands, as you guys were just in the middle of conversation, verifying that everything that he had ordered was accounted for, he goes over to the gunshot victim, and they haul him up onto the examination table. He applies a tourniquet just above the wound before removing the bandages to get a better look, and his face looks grim at what he sees. He's gonna bleed out at this rate. He's mumbling to himself as he starts to gather supplies, ordering the other man to fetch him some water and alcohol from the saloon. You can look at this man, and he is as white as a ghost. He does not have long for this world. Is there anything you would like to do at this point?
Yeah. I will take the little paper that he handed me, and I'll look around for somewhere to put it.
There's like a
Place it
desk.
down.
Yeah, there's a desk that you can just like place it on his desk.
Okay, I'll just place it on the desk, and then I will run over to him, to the man laid out on the table, and I'll kind of place my hands over the wound and try to figure out, like, sticking my finger in and seeing what is kind of bleeding out. If there's an artery.
So as you do that, roll me like a basic medicine check.
Okay, that would be a 12, correct?
Yeah, D12.
Okay. This time I can't get it wrong. That's gonna be a 5.
All right, so you have a very good understanding of the human body, not just from doing all of these deliveries for Doc Lachlan and other doctors in the area who have you've almost taken almost like an apprenticeship with some of them, observing them, but you just have a natural affinity towards healing people. And as you sort of stick your finger in the wound, you feel the bullet. It's about an inch in, and it is definitely nicked an artery. If this man is not, you know that the normal means to try to treat this wound are not going to do anything. This man will bleed out sooner rather than later.
What I know this guy was, he seemed like a decent guy.
So Redridge doesn't have a whole lot of upstanding citizens. You would know this man as I would say he is he kind of frequents the what's it called, like the shooting shows. Very good with a pistol, kind of knows what he's doing. A little bit cocky, but he's good at what he does. He's kind of earned the right to be cocky. And he's young too. He's probably a little bit older than you.
Okay. Well, kind of looking around, making sure that the doctor is off getting something else. I will use 2 effort in order to heal the artery itself. Just kind of push it together.
Mm-hmm. So what happens when you heal the artery is you can actually see the bullet begin to move up a little bit to make room for the artery to heal, as though it's being pushed out. And as you feel it, you feel the connection when the 2 ends meet together and fuse back together. And you can see the blood slow until it is there's nothing coming out. And you just see the bullet just sort of, it's raised right to the surface.
Okay, great. I will grab little tweezers and I'll pull it out. And I'll drop it into a container.
Doc Lachlan is
Mountain
like,
tip.
he's like busy. He is he was like he was grabbing bandages, he was grabbing tweezers of his own, probably like a scalpel, and he comes back with an arms full of all of the supplies, and he looks at you and he looks down at the leg, and he looks down at the bullet in the little basin that you'd thrown it in. And he looks down at the leg, and he looks down at the basin, and then he looks at you.
He is fixed. I have fixed him.
How'd you do that?
Well, if you... I don't know. But I fixed it. I fixed him. He is not dying. You do it a lot with the pregnant women. There is a lot of connective tissues, and so you connect them.
Issues. Connect them. And you just did that?
Well, I held them together so they could fuse like this.
Like with your fingers?
Yes, well, yes. Stick your fingers in, push them together. They
And that
heal.
works?
Usually.
You just gotta hold it together and it's just heal.
Well, sometimes you have to sew them together, but that is hard.
Selma, he's like at a loss for words, and he kind of places the supplies he had gathered on the little end table, and he'll give you a little pat on the shoulder. Good work, good work. I'm gonna clean the wound and wrap it, and I guess earn my spot here as the town doctor. You better not try to run me out of business. I don't take kindly to that.
No, I would like to only deal with pregnant women. You can have the dying men.
As the doctor begins to sort of clean and wrap the wound, and by clean, he literally just pours some whiskey over the wound and begins to apply a bandage to it. Another man, you hear a commotion. The commotion is still going on outside, and you hear it sort of begin to come closer and closer. And another man comes in enraged, and it looks like there are several people trying to hold him back. And he's waving around a pistol about finishing the damn fool off. And he's just, I'm gonna kill him. I swear to God. Where is he?
I will try to get closer to him so that he does not get closer to the patient.
Mm-hmm.
What can I do for you? What has happened?
I see him over there. Let me at him. And he's like lunging forward.
I will put my hands up. I cannot let you do that. That is not good for him.
He looks down at you and he's trying to like size you up. You're a small little woman. You're rather disarming as well. Do you have any sort of skill that might sort of calm him down a little bit?
I have attractive, which people love being around me. They don't really understand what it could be. It could be that I'm pretty, funny, or just kind of charismatic.
Okay. All right, roll me a
can-
persuasion then.
Awesome. That's gonna be a 3.
He was so focused on yelling and looking at the man who is now passed out on the examination table. And he takes the moment as he's yelling, there's spit like flying from his mouth, and he looks down at you, and it almost completely disarmed him. He's like, kind of like realizing how he's acting in front of a lady. I'm sorry, ma'am. I apologize. This is very unbecoming of me.
It's okay, I understand. Emotions can run high. If you wish to finish him off, I would ask that you wait till he is better so that it can be fair.
He looks
Yes?
down at you. He's like, damn fool got my sister pregnant.
Well, you can send her to me and I can help you.
He looks at you. You a doctor?
For women.
You a good doctor?
He's alive. He wasn't going to be.
Shame. And he's kind of like looking over, kind of over your head at him, sort of determining whether or not he still wants to put up a fight to try to get to the man. And he'll kind of just sag a little bit and put his pistol away. You tell him to keep away from me and my kin, all right?
Will do.
And he'll just kind of send you one last look before stomping out of the doctor's office with the men who are trying to hold him back following, giving you sort of a grateful look.
Great. And I will go back to my patient and clean up the wound.
Okay. Doc Lachlan has done a fairly decent job. You know, it is his job to be the doctor here. And oh, hey Raiders! Hi Aaron!
Hello.
Hi friends!
Welcome in.
We are in the midst of introductions for the characters, and we are currently with Selma. As you go and you're helping the doctor, you're sort of holding like the scissors for the bandages, and then just helping out, helping wrap the wound. And you also kind of maybe say, oh, that needs to be wrapped a little bit tighter. Like, kind of instructing him, but not really instructing him in a way that he might be offended by it. Throughout all of this, you nearly miss the finely dressed man who stood nearly out of your peripheral. Calm and collected despite the chaos that has been going on, he offers you a smile before tipping his hat and leaving. And as you go, the doctor says, you just want to grab those papers again. We'll finish that up right now, and I'll let you leave. I really appreciate your help here, Selma.
No problem, doctor. And I'll go and grab his papers and pull them from the desk.
As you gather up the manifest that you had sort of dropped onto the desk in disarray, you notice an envelope hidden between the papers, addressed to you with a seal that you don't recognize.
I will open it up.
Selma de las Palmas, wealth beyond measure waits you in Grayfall Hollow, and it is signed The Collector.
I'm gonna do the same thing that the last two people did. Was roll,
Right.
See if I recognize it.
Roll me some history.
Okay, I roll with a D12 because I'm terrible. It's an 11. That's
right.
an 11.
So you're not really from this area, correct?
Correct.
How long have you been in the area?
Honestly, probably maybe a year.
All right, yeah. So there's no way you would even know what Grayfall Hollow is. It's, it was a town that was a ghost town 20 plus years ago. Like you're new to this area, and you kind of think for a moment. You could ask the doctor. He is right there.
Yeah, I don't think she's pretty naive, so she's just, do you know where this is? And I'll show it to him. It's called Grayfall Hollow.
He sort of peers down his glasses at the letter. Grayfall Hollow. That's nothing but a ghost town.
Oh, strange. I suppose I will be asking for a few days.
If you head out there, you make sure to be careful. Years and years and years ago now, there was some odd disappearances that happened in that area. I'm sure it's fine now. It's been quite a long time, but better to err the side of caution.
Okay, I will take a pistol.
He kind of nods to you, and then he sort of says, "All right, scat, get on out."
And I'll rush out.
And it's like good natured. It's not like in a we We are at the top of the hour, so I am going to do a quick little break because I do have to pee, and we will resume with the introduction of our final character, Joel.
Ah!
All right, be right back, guys.
Okay, I'm good.
God damn it. Hello, guys. We're back. Hello, it's us. We're here. Here's my pitch for the SAGAS system once more. Hey guys, do you not know what system to run for your game that is not high fantasy? Look no further. The setting and genre agnostic system is for you. Kickstarter is live now. It's super rules light and so easy in all regards to character creation and combat and non-combat. It's so good. Go click the link now and back the Kickstarter, or else. Anyway, last we left off with Selma getting a very weird letter from the collector. Elsewhere, the floorboards bend and creak. A whispering wind outside causes the walls to wail. The Ashenmore Inn is said to have a rich history of death. The original owners, who had moved out here to the frontier for a fresh start, built their home from the ground up, and they met their fate only a year after the house was built. Boone Carlyle was found hanging from the staircase banister, his wife and their child dead in the downstairs bathtub. A few months later, a young bachelor purchased the property clearly nonplussed about the apparent suicides that had taken place. He would make it 2 years before a concerned family member found him sat in the den with half his face blown off, a gunshot wound. A decade goes by and 6 more deaths occurred on the property, mostly ruled as accidents or suicide until Kane Ashenmore bought up the home. Eyes filled with dollar signs, hoping to turn the home into a cash cow. He spent a year renovating the building before the grand opening of the Ashenmore Inn. Business was quick to pick up. A prime location, and the building was beautiful. Most visitors were unaware of the horrible deaths that had occurred on the property over the last decade, but rumors began to circulate quickly once the first death occurred, and then another, and another. Ashenmore, supposedly racked by the guilt of all of the loss of life on his property, hung himself on the front porch, a warning sign perhaps for all those who might want to enter. And so the property has been abandoned for a decade, garnering the curiosity of those perhaps enamored with ghost stories. One such person traverses the halls now. Joseph, if you would like to introduce yourself.
Well, I reckon.
I knew it would be awful. I knew it would be awful.
I'm not good with the Western, okay?
You don't have to do an accent, man.
Well, I reckon I do. No, so he has some pretty nice clothes, but like there's kind of some torn up nature to them all, and they're also kind of like got some like oil stains, maybe like, you know, little just kind of overall not perfect condition, but like at one point they were nice. And he kind of has like a trench coat kind of thing that has kind of some like gadgets on it, maybe some like little loose tinkering parts.
Okay. The air is cold in the house, and the clicking of the rudimentary device in your hand keeps a steady rhythm. If you've configured it right, and you know you did, the device should alert you to the presence of any sort of paranormal entity that lurks within these walls. Now, you're not quite sure how electromagnetic fields work, but you do know there is definitely, absolutely a connection between an increase in magnetic fields and paranormal activity. As you move through the house, there are creaks and knocks that cause you to jerk a bit with surprise, but you stay steady, circling throughout each room, lifting your device up and holding it down at intervals to see if it picks anything up. You've been at it for nearly an hour when you get your first ping as your device's tempo speeds up just slightly. There's a giddiness building up in you, an excitement. The pinging leads you up 2 flights of stairs to the attic, where it is now going at a rapid rate. The attic is threadbare, a series of beams with a singular stained glass window at the very end, large enough that if you were to stand in front of it, it would reach from your toes to the top of your head. One of the panes is broken. You can see a storm building outside. What are you doing?
He's like internally, he's like, finally, I'm about to get some evidence. Like, oh, I just need to go a little bit further.
Do you keep walking towards the stained glass window? As you do, you do note that the your device is starting to ping even more rapidly.
Yes, he'll maybe slow down a bit, but he does press forward more.
Okay. As you press forward more, the pinging, the tick and tock of the little needle increases, and it's drowning out any other noise that you might hear. The floorboard creaks, the wails of the walls, any sort of banging of any sort of pipes or anything. And there's something almost urging you forward. What would you do?
I'll take a second and just make sure that everything like looks configured correctly, and just make sure it's not getting like gaslit by my little device.
So what you do is you're facing forward, and it's pinging pretty rapidly, and then you turn around, and the tempo decreases slightly, and then you turn forward again, and it starts going again really quickly, and then you turn back around, and it decreases, and then you turn forward, and it's going. So you're thinking that, hey, something's ahead here.
Okay, then he'll push forward more.
Okay.
I think also at this point he'll probably also pick up the pace again a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
He's like hesitant of like he doesn't want to. I feel like he's had this happen maybe a couple of times, and he goes too quick or too slow and like loses it. So
yeah, you don't want to push too forward ahead and then lose whatever signal you're picking up.
Yeah.
So you push forward ahead a little bit quicker, and the pinging is increasing steadily with each step forward. How far do you go? Do you go all the way up to the window, or just a little ways away from it?
He'll go all the way up.
Okay. As you go all the way up, I want you to make a will save. As a voice quietly whispers to you, jump.
I'm assuming it is a 12, D12.
Yeah, D12.
1.
You didn't hear that right. You didn't hear that. That was no, that was just the wind. That was the pinging of your device. It's so loud. Like there's no way that you heard that. And you sort of lean forward a little bit, trying to get a good look out the window. And you hear another voice. You want so badly to know what's on the other side. Jump. Make me another will save. You heard it that time. You definitely heard something. You heard a voice whispering to you to jump. And you think back to all of the deaths that have happened here, and you've done your research on this place. You've done your research and you dug deep. Deeper than probably anyone else has on this place. And you wonder, is this what all of the other people heard before they died? The voice comes back, this time in the other ear. It's like a whiplash as it moves from one ear to the other. Why won't you jump? And it roars in your ear. The glass in front of you shatters. Your device is going crazy, tick-tocking back and forth at a rate where you think the little needle might fly off. Make me a final will save.
3.
1, 2, 3. This jars you, certainly, but instead of jumping forward like the voice is urging you to do, you jump back from the window. There is a tension building in you. Your heart is racing, as that could not be explained. That is not the floor creaking. That is not the wind whispering across the building. That was a voice demanding that you jump from the building, from the very top floor. And the needle is tick-tocking back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. The tension is building and building and building, and then silence. The device resumes a steady ticking, slower now as it had been before when you first entered the building. What would you like to do?
Would I have, like, an audio, like, device or, like, a camera?
You can roll... What is that, crafting for you?
Yeah.
You can roll, I'm gonna let you roll, yeah, we're gonna roll a craft check. That's gonna be a D8 for you. Go ahead.
5.
Okay. So with what you have on you, you're not able to make a camera of any sort. But you're able to make what is almost like equivalent of today's spirit box. It's very basic, rudimentary. Like, you just cobbled this together in probably 5 minutes. But you flick the little switch on, and you just hear jump, 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 and it's a cacophony of all different voices urging you.
He'll go back, like, in front of the glass, like, to see if it gets, like, louder, if they, like, yell it more, or, like, what the voice does.
The voices become more frantic. It's like they're excited, urging you, jump, 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 and it gets louder and louder and louder the closer you get to the window.
He'll back away.
There's like a howl of rage that cuts through the other voices. What would you like to do?
He'll kind of, like, leave that area for now.
Okay.
And maybe just, like, go take some notes and stuff.
So, as you turn back to the way you came, you see a finely dressed gentleman standing at the top of the stairs. He regards you with a smile and holds an envelope out to you. As you approach him, the ticking begins to speed up, quicker and quicker.
He'll, like, grab the spirit and he'll, like, kind of focus on that for a second. Is it saying anything?
As you move away from the window, the little myriad of voices that are yelling jump, 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 it quiets until it's just a faint whisper coming out of the device.
Like, hello?
He gestures to the envelope, a smile still on his face.
I'll grab it.
As you grab the envelope, he bows his head and takes a step back. And when he does, it's as though he fades from existence. He is no longer there, and you are alone.
I'll look at the letter and then open it.
Joseph Ludlow, the truth you seek can be found in Grayfall Hollow. Signed, the Collector.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Do I know this the collector?
So roll me a history check.
Would this be using my memory?
Yeah.
And I know it's a D12 anyways, but
You are trying to recall something.
pretty much just like everybody else, I rolled a 10.
This is actually surprising that you don't know this. You've studied things quite elaborately, and you're kind of thinking to yourself, wait, I've definitely heard of Grayfall Hollow. No, I definitely have studied. I just can't remember. And you're just sitting there trying to rack your brain. And it's just not coming to you. You're just drawing a blank. You know in your heart of hearts that you know what Grayfall Hollow is. It's just not coming to you.
I'm just like, I'm like overwhelmed. I'm like, I need to take notes on what I just saw, but where is this place? It's like, I'm sure I've heard of it. It's like, but the window broke. All these things yelling at me to jump, but was it down the street? Where?
You know that you are close to Freebank, a rather populous town here in the frontier. You reckon there's got to be someone there that might know where Grayfall Hollow is.
We'll kind of take some quick notes, and then I'll head out to go ask somebody for kind of directions or such.
I imagine that you sort of sit on the, I feel like you would sit on like the stairs, leading out to, leading on the front porch, leading up into the house as you're sort of taking your notes. And kind of out of the corner of your eye, you swear you can see a body hanging right next to you, but when you look, there's nothing there. Mable. By morning, you found yourself in Redridge. A quick stop along the way to Freebank, and as you roll up to town with the 2 dead bodies on the back of the horses, everyone bows their head, avoiding eye contact with you except for one woman. A familiar woman. Mable and Selma, you've known each other for quite some time, running in similar circles and even having teamed up on a couple of bounties here and there. You know yourselves to be quite a pair, and Mable, it's a happy surprise to see Selma just standing outside of Doc Laughlin's.
I think Mable would give a slow nod to Selma with a slow creeping smile running across her face.
Yeah. Selma would just kind of stand at the door and wave pretty happily as she kind of tilts her head toward the saloon/restaurant that I'm sure exists here.
Yep, there is the saloon is called Outlawed. It is small and janky, but it does the job.
I think Mable would stop the horses and look at Selma and say, "You fancy yourself some of that good tequila today?"
Always. Mostly
Outstanding.
dinner.
Mostly tequila for me.
Oh. Bad day?
Successful day. It's payday, baby.
Is there like a way that we've known each other for a while. Is there a way that like I could tell if she's feeling a little off or something? Or would that just be up to
I think this would be sort of akin to like an insight check. So you're gonna roll a d12 for me.
Okay. I just want to make sure my friend's okay.
My pal!
That's a 12.
My little guy! Ooh.
Selma, it's morning. You're still a little groggy. You've not had your coffee yet. You're kind of regarding Mable, and Mabel's always been sort of you've known her as a tough woman. There's sort of a glint in her eye that sort of catches you off guard a little bit, but gods, you need your coffee, you need some food, before you even start to think about that.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, I'll just ignore it and, well, whenever you are done putting them away.
Yeah, let me turn this bounty in here before this body starts stinking worse than they already do.
Oddly enough, it is Doc Lachlan that you would go and give the bodies to, just because he sort of knows how to take care of a dead body. And he'll put it. He'll kind of take the bodies from you. He comes out. He comes out from behind Selma as she's standing on the porch of his establishment, and he kind of looks over at you. He goes, "Those for me?"
No, they are.
You got the bounties on you?
I would imagine she does, and she'll pull them from her pocket and hand them over, still on her horse.
He'll take them and he'll sort of look at the faces of the two gentlemen, because the bounties do have very rough sketches of the bandits.
While he does that,
Mm-hmm.
while he does it, so not Selma, you're Selma. Mabel's gonna sort of give a cough and don't mind the missing teeth part.
He'll look and he'll sort of use like a handkerchief to sort of lift the upper lip up to sort of get a gander at the teeth, or rather lack of teeth situation. Mountie says dead or alive, doesn't say with or without teeth. So as far as I'm concerned, that's none of my business.
Very good, Doc.
He'll go ahead and haul one of the bodies off, and then he'll have one of his assistants come out and take the other, and he comes back with a sort of like a lockbox, and he'll start counting out the money for the bounty, because once he turns in the money in the bounty, he'll get the money back to him, and he'll pay you off. Sort of nodding to you. Pleasure doing business with you, ma'am.
As always, now if you can put the word out there, I got 2 horses for sale. That'd be most helpful. I'll be over it out loud.
I'm sure someone will come over and strike up a deal with you. I'll let him know.
Certainly. And Mabel will go ahead and hitch the horses, and dismount and sort of wait to enter in. I think she holds the door for Selma.
Yeah, she's gonna kind of like lift her skirt as she walks, and just very, very chipperly walk into the saloon.
I think it'd be worth
way too early. Sorry, go ahead.
It's fine. Just early enough. I think it'd be worth noting that Mabel does wear her husband's old clothes, and they've been a little bit tailored to fit her. She dresses like a man. She sort of walks like a man. She walks like a horse rancher, and has sort of lost a lot of that feminine flair she once had as a dutiful housewife. But she'll go in with Selma and find a seat.
You all make your way in. The saloon is oddly busy this time of morning, but you know there ain't much to do around here, so drinking it is for most folk. You're able to find two spots at the bar top, though, if that's where you desire to sit, quite easily. And if not, one mean look from Mable will send whoever's sitting there on their way.
Just for fun, I would like to send a mean look to somebody to make them move.
Oh yeah, there's a really burly man sort of sitting hunched on the stool. He's got a glass of what you can only think is probably whiskey in front of him that he's been sipping on. And you go up and stand next to him, just staring at him. And make
Move.
me an intimidation check.
It's a 3, baby.
He doesn't notice your presence until you say move. And he sort of jumps. And he looks at you. And there's just a dead look in your eyes. Like, you don't care much about things in this world. So, causing bodily harm to someone, no skin off your back, especially for a bar seat. And he sort of just sends you a furrowed brow and sort of just gets up and sort of shuffles away with his drink. Kind of like keeps sending you like looks over his shoulder as though he's afraid that you're gonna like follow after him or something.
I feel like Mabel would pull the seat out for Selma and then sit down next to her.
You know, being kind can also get you things. Sometimes.
I would imagine, Selma, that you are well aware of how I feel about being kind to certain people. And she does mean men.
Yes, I do. In fact, I would think that you would dislike that we saved a man today.
Well, that certainly is interesting. I do like Doc, though, so that's all right, I suppose.
Well, I think Doc likes you as well.
I mean, he pays me, so I reckon that's all right.
Yes, that's what I meant.
Right. Right. I don't find him handsome. I just need you to know that.
I did not assume that you did. I thought you meant in friendship, but
Right. Right.
Doc is a rather handsome man. He's mid-40s, graying, mustache, glasses.
I actually think he's a wimp. Anyway, I'd like to move on from this conversation. And I guess there's a bartender, and she'll sort of flag him down. 2 tequila. Thank you.
He was cleaning a glass. He sort of nods at you, places the glass down in front of him, and then another, and pours a very generous helping of tequila, and plops them down right in front of you. That it?
no, cafe?
Oh, yeah, we just brewed up some. I'll be right back. Gotta go to the back for that one. And he'll disappear off into a door that leads to the back kitchen area.
Why would you put coffee in your tequila?
Why would I put tequila in my coffee? It's morning.
Why wouldn't you?
Porque es asqueroso.
I love it when you do that.
Okay. Well, I may have something to ask of you.
What is it, honey?
I'll pull out the letter. So after there was an altercation in the clinic, and a lot of things happened, and then I found this note, and well, I know that you like money, and I like money, so I thought that maybe we could work together again.
Wait, let me see this letter.
I'll hand her the letter.
I'm assuming it looks identical to the letter that I have.
The wording is different as it's addressed to Selma, and it's sort of, you look at the two letters, and it seems that whoever is writing these letters seems to be trying to appeal to each of yours desires. But same handwriting, signed the collector, same kind of make of parchment, like the parchment is pretty sturdy, and the same wax seal that's been broken.
Well, I'll be damned. I think that Mabel would then pull out her letter and hand it over to Selma. Ain't that funny? Looks like we've got ourselves a little menagerie of trouble happening.
I was about to say the same thing. Well, I suppose we could see what it is.
Well, I think we'd be plumb foolish to not. I certainly would like to see just who this collector is. He seems to know something or two about us, and I reckon there might be some mighty reward at the end of this fuckery.
Perhaps. I asked the doctor, and he says that it is mostly a ghost town, and it is a bit of trouble, but
ain't nothing worth, taking a peek at. Nothing hurt with that. And besides, if we're together, then we'll have each other's backs.
you are safe with me.
I'm glad to know this. I really am. And she's gonna shoot her tequila.
That's a big old gulp you just took, and Mabel, you take it without flinching.
Delicious.
I'll push her mine. Do it again.
Okay. I shall do it again.
Lucky for you, there's no laws against riding and drinking and riding. Sometime later, you guys are, I imagine, Mabel is sort of a couple of tequilas deep, and Selma, you've just finished your coffee, which was rather good. Surprisingly enough, Doc comes into the saloon and informs Mabel that he's got 2 buyers for the horses, and they will pay whatever price you want for the horses. So he'll sort of lead you outside, and you have a deal on your hands. You've gotten rid of the horses. You've gotten rid of the bodies. All that's left is to head towards Grayfall Hollows.
Well, I reckon it's time to go.
Nos vamos.
I love when you do that.
Are you going to say that every time?
I think I've probably said it every time you've ever done that.
Okay. I suppose that is okay?
No, listen, if you don't like it, tell me. We're friends here.
I don't mind it. I don't mind it.
All right.
I have to go get my horse, and then we can go.
Okay, I'll be here, waiting on magic.
I feel obligated to ask Selma, what does your horse look like?
Sure. I like to think that it's definitely not like a purebred horse. It's not a singular color. It's like patchworked.
Mm-hmm.
It's got like patches of black and brown and white.
Mm-hmm.
It looks more like foliage than anything.
Okay.
And it's got a short mane, kind of kept up, but not like really well, like not braided or anything. It's just kind of let loose. And I like to believe that she puts little ribbons wherever she can.
I
Just,
love
like,
that.
tying
Complete
them on.
opposite of Mabel and her horse.
And it has a little like saddle that is very intricately like etched with little flowers and trees.
And what's your horse's name?
His name, her name is Costanza.
Costanza. Would die for
Or
Costanza.
Connie.
Oh, Connie. Okay, that's cute. Yeah, you two meet up, and the sun is high in the sky as you all make your way from Redridge towards Grayfall Hollow. Meanwhile, in Freebank, which is only a few miles from the Ashenmore Inn, Joseph, you arrive back deep into the night as you see people staggering out of the saloon on their way home. One person in particular catches your eye. Your old dentist, Phil.
Phil!
Oh, good evening. How you doing tonight?
Well, I reckon I'm doing all right. Just investigating.
How's that going for you?
I think I got an EMF 5.
I don't know nothing about no EMF, but what you mean?
I was investigating that old house, and the
That old house done scared the shit out you again.
yeah, well, this time it
I done told you.
told me to jump out the building.
Jump. I'm sorry, jump where?
To my death.
Oh. All right.
Yeah,
Well,
But
I'm glad you didn't follow through with that request.
Yeah, I whipped up a box, and I could
Okay.
hear the voices. I could hear them this time, and they were
Now,
like,
boy, you could
"Oh,
be
jump,
stupid
jump,
too.
jump, jump."
Now we all know you ain't the smartest thing. You sure you hearing voices?
That's why I tried to make so I could.
Look, I ain't saying you didn't. I'm just saying you're not known for being the smartest man in town.
I mean, but this thing, it can record. Like I can hear the voices.
Record? You got a record over there, boy?
You do not.
No, I guess I don't. But okay, maybe
No.
can't record, but I could hear them.
Okay, now what they told you to jump. Now did they tell you why they want you to jump? You
No,
sure they
but-
meant jump out the building, not just maybe they want
Oh,
to play
yeah,
some jump
no.
rope with you?
No, as I got closer to the stained glass, they got louder. They were yelling at me,
Okay, okay.
and then the glass shattered, and that's when I got a little creeped out.
Well, yeah, now I can see why you'd get creeped out. Now you sure there wasn't somebody hiding? Maybe talking
They'd
in
have
your
to
ear,
be-
you wasn't looking?
I guess I didn't check around it. Did I?
I
check
don't know.
around?
That's why I'm
No,
asking
I don't
you.
think.
Joseph, you're fairly certain that there was no one else on the property besides that one man who snuck up on you and then just like disappeared. That was really weird.
Okay. So I'm
All right, calm
I'm
down.
pretty
Take a breath.
pretty sure I checked all
Alright.
around. There's nobody when I went in. After the glass breaking, and I was starting to
Okay.
take some notes. This figure did approach me with a letter, but I'm
Now, is this the same boy who told you to jump?
no. It was voices who told me to jump, not the person. I'm
Wait.
40% sure that this man did not break the window and tell me to jump.
Mhm.
I'm 35.
Okay. All right, stop with the numbers. You know you're not so
60.
hot on those. Now, let's
8.
go ahead and... Okay. So, what did this note say?
He'll rummage around his vest as he does. No, here it is. And he'll just hand it to you. I think it says something about a building. I don't know. I don't remember.
Okay, now, you don't need to remember. It's
Look,
okay,
I was too
can
busy.
read.
I was too busy focused on the stained glass and taking notes.
Okay,
And,
just stop your talking for a moment. Let me do some thinking here. Now, can I examine the two seals? Are they the same?
Yep. Same wax, same emblem. Candle with a flickering flame.
All right. Now, boy, this is real strange. Did you get a good look at the man who gave you this?
you want me to be honest with you, Phil?
I would prefer it that way, yeah.
I was still
You would
Why
still
trying-
shitting yourself.
No, well, I wouldn't say it like that.
You were still scared.
I was still trying to tinker to see if I could get it to record so that way I could show it to you so you wouldn't think I'm insane again.
Look, I know. Look, we've had some run-ins. I know, but at this point, it's become more entertaining than anything else, so we okay. But I got a very similar letter, but this gentleman wouldn't talk to me. Did he say anything to you?
He did not say anything to you.
Well, he didn't, and that's why I tried to look at my soundbox thing that I made, and it didn't make any noise either. But I was also trying to. I was kind of more focused on trying to make.
Yo, were you in there looking for ghosts, boy?
You know I was.
We done had this conversation.
I was trying to actually get tangible evidence this time.
You know what? That is a scientific process. I give you that. You trying. I appreciate it. Now, I think there's only. Now you see, I got some thoughts about this because now they done saying I thought maybe there was a poker tournament or something going on down there. I could make some good money, but not the way you got one too. And let's be honest, boy, I don't think you can even read. But
He sometimes forgets how to read. His memory's a little.
I remember, you know that. Give me that letter. I can read it aloud.
all right, what's it say?
What poor timing?
Now, boy, and he
Says
snatches a letter
Joseph
back out of
Ludlow,
his
right
hand.
there.
All right. All
You can
right, well,
recognize your
Mr.
name. Congratulations.
Well, Mr. Ludlow, you have a reading level of a kindergarten. I appreciate you. Now, why would two people be telling us to go to the same place? Mine telling me the fate of cards and hands and stuff, and you're saying I don't know what his says. I apologize.
The truth you seek can be found in Grayfall Hollows.
So what's this truth you seeking? Is it money?
Of course not. We both know it's proof that there are such a thing as ghosts.
Boy, I was really hoping you'd say something different than that. All right.
Money.
So, okay, now that's where we can talk. Now, I know you're just lying to me, so I don't know what to do about that, but I feel like the only thing left for us to do is to go to Grayfall Hollows and figure it out. If it turns out it's true and there are some ghosts there, then that's a lot of money for us to be making, if you know what I'm saying. Now, I need you to fiddle around with your little record player, recorder, your little thing there, and I need you to get it working. So that when we do see, listen to me. So if we do find ghosts, and there is some kind of proof, we're going to get it on that recorder thing, whatever the hell that thing is. And then you're going to make us a lot of money, boy. You see?
That sounds perfect.
All right. Now,
The
you done
man with
taken
the
up a
plan,
lot
sir.
of my time. So I'm going to go ahead and need you to give me some money for that. Now, I done been standing here for like 5 minutes trying to figure out what the hell you talking about. Every time you saw me in the past, I got money out of it, given not fixing the weird ass teeth you got, but
I thought I had told you last time that
you still
done
broke.
kind of ran me dry. Yeah, you kind of ran me a little bit dry.
Nah, I ran you dry. No, your dumb ass ran you dry.
Well, I needed to get some parts so I
I'll
could.
bring your ass on, and he's gonna start walking towards the nearby saloon. I'll buy you one drink. One drink. We'll talk
Okay.
about this a little more.
Sounds good, Bill.
All right.
We watch as best of friends disappear into the saloon, arm in arm. Saloon doors swinging behind them. And we pull out from the scene to just the facade of the saloon. And the moon hanging high above. And that is where we will end today's session. Mournian, thank you so much for all of that.
I loved
Yeah, you-
every single moment of
every
Phil
single
talking to
moment.
Joseph.
I don't want to play this anymore. I just want to see Mournian mentally destroy Joel via countrified.
Countrify.
Well, now
Boy,
that can
you
be
know you
arranged.
stupid.
That was a mental whoop ass.
Well, you could be stupid.
Well,
Boy, you could be stupid. You've been taking
Look,
up a lot of my time.
I'm channeling my
I'm
father,
gonna need
okay?
some money for that.
It's really what a guy.
Oh, it's so good. Okay,
I love you,
guys.
I need.
That made my heart very happy. All right, let's do one more round table. Promote anything you got coming up. Tell us who you are. We'll start with Little Bones.
Oh God! Hi,
She's
it's me.
just a little bones.
It's me. I'm Little Bones playing Mable over here. Who very quickly decided she was a He-Man hating man woman.
She did decide that quickly.
Very quickly. But tomorrow we got Wishlist Wednesday, Blue Suburbia, which is a new game that I found off of itch.io. I'm back on my itch.io shit. So be prepared for a lot of really strange PSX horror style games. Thursday we'll be playing Satisfactory with Mournian and maybe some other pals if they want to come play Satisfactory on those. And then I don't know, I'll be over here on Saturday afternoon, technically, for me. For All We've Lost, and then Sunday Fun Day with Myriad and a gang.
I'm invading Bones' schedule this week.
You really did. I'm
I'm like a fungus. Mournian.
Well, once again, I am Mournian. You can find me pretty much in Bones or Mirror's chat all the time, being a general asshole. And one day I might stream again at Mournian, twitch.tv/Mournian. And I have really enjoyed playing Phil tonight, and I can't wait to see where that goes.
I have enjoyed you playing Phil.
Why, thank you.
I
We'll see how this goes.
don't like that.
Well, why not? Well, what's
I don't
wrong?
like
Are
the
you
way- I don't like the way
stupid too?
she's. I don't like. Boy.
Anyway, Joel.
hey, it's Joel, aka Joseph, aka TactlessRaccoon. Yeah, I'm around. Maybe I'll stream with Mournian.
Maybe
We'll just
that's
be
what
two
you guys
dudes.
need. You guys just need like your little butt buddies together streaming.
Tried that. It didn't work out last time.
Okay. Oh. Well, what? Just because you're stupid.
Jay, help me here.
Okay, hi. I can't do the stupid. So I'm gonna I'm Jay. I play Selma. You can find me at TheYellowCubes on all social media. I don't really post anything, and mostly you can find me in there in Bones's and Myriad's chats. And if I'm not there, well then I'm probably doing something that's unimportant and or losing my mind playing Minecraft, which I probably should be streaming. I'll do that. I have the last of the things set up, so I'll be doing that soon.
I think I just need to like gun to everyone's head. Stream.
I'm doing it. Okay, I'm trying. I'm just a baby. I don't know how to do things.
All right.
Also,
well,
you can also see us come back Saturday because I really want to play more of that.
Not all of us.
oh, that's your own
Okay,
decision.
well,
Anyway, hi guys. I'm Myriad. This is my channel. If you like TTRPGs and just like variety games and stuff, hi. This is what we do here. Tomorrow we're going to be playing some more Mass Effect Andromeda at 7 p.m. Pacific. Thursday you can catch me over on Evandale for Seekers of the Fall at 5:30 p.m. Pacific. Friday we are not doing anything. We are off Friday. And then Saturday morning at 11 a.m. Pacific, we will be back here playing with the same group. Playing All We've Lost. It'll be session 3. Actually, minus Joel because he thinks football is more important than D&D. So, yikes!
wow, I
Wait.
see.
might be stupid, boy.
Awkward. And
so
then,
we're killing his wife again, right?
yeah, we have to. We're gonna bring her back, and then we're gonna kill her.
I learned Revivify, and I'm gonna go back in time.
And then Sunday Fun Day with Bones, and we might be cooking up something good for you guys. But yeah, thank you for joining us tonight. Please make sure to check out the Kickstarter for SAGAS. It is a really amazing system, guys. I cannot stress it enough. How much fun it is. It's so easy, so simple. Really can make it work with like absolutely anything. And thank you so much, Creature, for the biddies. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for the raids. Thank you for the follows. We hope to see you guys next week for chapter 2 of The Haunting of Grayfall Hollow. I can't fucking say the old fucking. Anyway, goodbye.